Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Oscar Arnerson here posting this, warning XRP Army, it appears Jungle Inc.'s account has now been hacked. So Jeremy Hogan just recently got his account back, but now it looks as though Jungle Inc.'s account, his Twitter account here, is hacked, and you guys can see some kind of weird promotions here. So just be careful if you guys are following Jungle Inc. XRP on Twitter, because it looks as though he is now the latest to have had his account hacked. And he did, the last thing he tweeted, ironically, was the fact that Jeremy Hogan got his account back. So thought I'd bring that to you guys, just a bit of a public service announcement. Do not click on any of these links, because a lot of these guys, they're posting these links saying, you're going to get an airdrop, but it connects you to some kind of malware that will likely steal your cryptocurrency. So again, guys, just beware. Well, look at this. Dark Defender posting this. We called it out for July the 22nd, so there was a bit of a delay. But guys, check out what he's looking at here, the XRP price breaking above that trend line. Now, I've got XRP here on the hourly, and we're going to talk a little bit about that trend line in a second. I noticed when I woke up this morning, look at that. On the hourly, we saw some significant movement for XRP just over that 1 hour. If I throw it on the 5-minute, you guys can see here, there was a period over just about 15-20 minutes where XRP did rally about 3% and then is coming back down. So don't know if there was a significant buy order that got triggered or for what reason. However, now we're seeing it calm back down. Of course, it is Sunday, but we are keeping an eye on this, throwing it back on the hourly and, just looking back to mid-month. What we have seen for XRP has been pretty steady since the lawsuit announcement was made. The big move that we saw was obviously this one here on July the 13th. And, we saw XRP go up about 100% since then, and then it did come back down. So now it's up roughly 52%, lost about half of it, but it is still up roughly 52% since that initial ruling did come out. Going back to that trend line, though, bringing back this trend line that Dark Defender was showing us, and take a look at that, guys. So bringing it up on the hourly from the top. So that would have been at about 94.7, touching resistance up here. And if I punch in here, you guys can see we are now up above the trend line. So Dark Defender did call it. He said, and he gave a timeline too, which is crazy. He said that we were going to see this around July the 27th. And now, guys, it is July the 30th today, if you're watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it. And we are seeing that exact same trend occur. MacAttack XRP also posting this. Bitcoin proponent predicts XRP surge to $25. And, that's pretty conservative. It was Captain Fabic here on Twitter. During its next rally, could attain a price ranging between $25 and $30. Fabic seems extremely convinced about his assertion, judging based on how it was presented in the tweet. Here is the tweet, guys. I believe XRP could potentially reach $25 to $30 in the next bull run. However, it's essential to remember that we are currently in an accumulation phase, so do not FOMO into it. And so just going back to the chart here, if you guys are still looking to maybe down cost average, maybe cost average in, I don't know where your cost average is at, but we did talk about it this past week. If you guys didn't catch the video I did, how much XRP do you need to retire? It is an updated edition for 2023. I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. It still might be a good time, though, if you guys are looking to get into some more XRP. Right now, we're trading at about 72 cents. So do not FOMO in. I mean, the worst is, to buy when we're seeing a lot of volatility, like in and around here, or if you see it come back up again, you never want to buy in the upswing. You always want to kind of find that bottom and, kind of find where we bounce off of, where support is, and then buying in and around here is a lot better than, buying in and around here, obviously. So find your support. Also noticing things like this, right? The trend line moving above that. So these are key indicators. A few things that I look at when selecting coins for my patrons on my Patreon, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Diversifying into about 10 to 15 coins this coming bull run, guys. So, I'm hoping XRP is obviously going to be one of those big ones. But, the goal, obviously, to make a lot of money. Because as I keep saying, been saying it for years, and as Cypress Demand and Core here has posted too in this clip, they want to keep us poor. Let me play you guys this clip because this woman here has some very insightful things to say.
We can barely teach financial literacy in this country, and the industry now wants to push financial literacy around crypto, all while it actively manufactures investor confusion through policy like this bill.
So, just looking at the fact that financial literacy not taught in schools, and they're purposely keeping crypto opaque so that you and I cannot get rich. This is crazy, he says. 2023 House Committee statement. As a population, we need to wake up. Congress openly admits they can barely teach financial literacy. You think they're going to start teaching people about crypto so they can get rich? They want you dumb and poor and stay in your cages. Sweet, sweet little ignorant sheep. You have to educate yourself. And so, John Deaton also came out and made quite a lengthy statement in response to Ron Paul's tweet here. RFK Jr. recently pointed out that America doesn't have a free market, but rather a crony corporatist system, and he's right. Americans should beware. Whenever an authoritarian socialist system fails, and it must, blame is immediately put on non-existent free markets, so you should come to expect it. And John Deaton, I'm not going to read the full thing, but just the first paragraph here. For years, I've said that we don't exist in a true capitalist system. We have corporate capitalism in the US. Look at the accredited investor rules and how they discriminate against the working class. Look at the attack on crypto and the attack on Coinbase, which allows non-accredited investors to acquire and trade crypto assets. Instead of focusing on the fraud involved in crypto, the SEC spends its limited resources on Section 5 cases and attacking the secondary market on exchanges. Look how the SEC objected to retail investors being amici curiae in the Ripple case, and the SEC didn't want retail to even be heard. So he gives some more examples down here. I will link it in the description for you guys, but just kind of along the same lines, guys, they do not want us to get into this thing. They want to scare us out. And so, the more reason why we should be getting into it now, because if we wait too long, there will be too many hard set rules, and it will be getting harder and harder for non-accredited investors to enter into crypto. And this is partially why I started the Patreon too. I thought, if I'm going to be trading, I wanted to let you guys in on what I'm trading. So far, we are holding our positions, but we're going to be looking at targets, macro market moves, and also, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll see some of these coins pop before the entire market pops. So again, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. If that's your thing, just be aware though, if you guys do join the Patreon, you will be charged today, but also on August 1st. So it does charge you at the beginning of the month. John Reed Stark here posting this. Okay, so some more, I guess, another red herring, okay? VC poured $21 billion into crypto startups in 2022. At mid-year 2023, the number is only 500 million. So, on the surface, it looks like, oh, look, crypto, nobody's interested in it anymore. But I'm sure there are other reasons for it. Of course, VC, venture capitalists, see opportunity when they see it. And so this is just another article here from Yahoo Finance, just giving you the numbers. But again, doom and gloom, fear. And this guy's even saying, this dramatic decline is not a cyclical correction, but rather a clear and convincing harbinger. Word on the street, the crypto emperor has no clothes. Disagree hugely. This man is also trying to scare us out. So just be wary, guys. Be wary. And we can see it all around. We just have to open our eyes because we're seeing stuff like this, guys. Binance.us has offered a new XRP pair. This courtesy of Tim on Twitter. So the Binance exchange in the United States has expanded XRP support. This comes barely 2 weeks after announcing the launch of XRP trading back on the platform. So we're also seeing that, right? A lot more exchanges are relisting XRP, and I'm speaking specifically of exchanges in the US. In a new tweet, Binance US announces the addition of a new convert pair for XRP to its Binance US convert feature, which allows users to directly convert one cryptocurrency for another in only a few taps. So making it easier for you guys to exchange your cryptocurrency on Binance.us for XRP. And so I'm sure that the feature is going to get a lot of traction moving forward as the market moves up. So I wanted to thank Tim just for posting that. Also happen to see this, guys, from Michael Branch, some new Ripple partner news with regards to Fubon Bank. Fubon Bank is to use the Ripple platform for testing the digital Hong Kong dollar, okay? Fubon Bank, the Hong Kong arm of the Taiwan Fubon Financial Holdings Company, has confirmed plans to launch the pilot real estate tokenization program this year. According to a recent announcement made by local media, Fubon Bank will launch the pilot real estate program in Q3 of 2023. So that's coming up on Ripple's CBDC platform. So you guys remember the tokenization, the Hong Kong dollar, the connection to Ripple there and the real estate that they want to tokenize. Well, this is all part of this, and Fubon Bank is looking to be part of that strategy. Under the initiative, Fubon Bank will leverage Ripple's CBDC platform to tokenize real estate and issue loans in the EKHD, or the HKD, I think it's supposed to say. This will commence before the end of September of 2023. And so the pilot program's first stage will involve issuing loans in digital Hong Kong dollars. Per the announcement, Fubon Bank will convert the fiat version of the Hong Kong dollar into a test-only digital Hong Kong dollar on a 1-to-1 exchange rate. So we're seeing this, guys, all happening on the XRP ledger. Ripple's CBDC initiative is coming to fruition in many different countries, starting in Palau. We heard about that just yesterday. If you guys didn't catch the video I did on that, I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Hong Kong is now another one. And, this is going to be interesting. We're going to see this really kind of explode, I think, in the East before we really start to see it in the West. That's just my inclination. I mean, I have no evidence to suggest that, but considering they're so far ahead in those Asian countries, I have a feeling we are going to see something happen there, something really explode in the East, like in Hong Kong, India, other countries too, even like the Philippines, right? All this is looking really, really positive for Ripple, XRP, and their CBDC projects. So just wanted to thank Michael Branch for posting that. Moving along though, guys, we've also got some inclinations that big companies might start using DLT ledgers like the XRP ledger. In this example, it's obvious that Uber is looking right past Bitcoin and leaning in towards a better exchange mechanism. Now, they don't mention XRP, but XRPville here posted this clip. Either way, if you listen to the CEO at Uber here, what's his name? It's got a very Dara Khosrowshahi. Khosrowshahi is his name. And just listen to this clip. The interviewer asks about Bitcoin specifically, but the answer, I think, is very, very telling on where, companies like Uber are looking to go in the future. Listen to this.
I'm wondering if any of this has convinced you. Is there any chance of Uber accepting Bitcoin in the future? Are you having conversations about this internally? Could it happen someday?
It definitely could. We're having conversations all the time. I think right now what we see with Bitcoin and some of the other cryptos that they are quite valuable as a store of value. The exchange mechanism is expensive. It's not great for the environment. As the exchange mechanism becomes less expensive, becomes more environmentally friendly, I think you will see us lean into crypto a little bit more. So we're absolutely watching it. And if you say, is Uber going to accept crypto in the future? Absolutely, at some point. This isn't the right point, but we will.
This isn't the right point, not right now with regards to Bitcoin, but if you heard him, inexpensive, fast, cheap transactions, and they do have to be environmentally friendly. So, the narrative for crypto is just that. We also have some more Ripple partner news, guys. This one from the Wrath of Kahneman. Important developments for Ripple partner Fran, an original ODL XRP user. They have rebranded to Diameter Pay. And so there's a lot going on here. He does expand on this, just giving you guys an idea of what Diameter Pay is now. You guys can see they've even listed Ripple on their website. So he says Fran was an early user of ODL, founded by former World Bank analyst. They originally connected to the US and the Philippines. According to this recent PR report, so this one was from 2022, they evolved into a B2B payments platform offering embedded cross-border payments to international banks after securing a $2.9 million European Union R&D grant that same year. And around the same time, Fran, founded by MIT, by the way, won a 3 million EU innovation grant from Polish-based fund to build the next generation blockchain payment solution for businesses and customers. The article in the next tweet notes the kickoff there, so he does link that there if you guys want to go to that. I will link this in the description. Then he says in February of this year, Fran acquired compliance provider Digiply to have proprietary tools for compliance automation. So note that there, okay? Automation. They are focused on making US dollar solutions to banks that have been de-risked in compliant ways. And the last piece for now, in April, Fran rebranded to Diameter Pay or Diameter Pay. The Fran site still exists, so likely they will keep it as a customer remittance service. Both sites, though, note their partnership with Ripple and their focus on blockchain. So I think that's really, really important. The fact that both of these companies are noting Ripple, obviously a critical part for their infrastructure. Ripple and ODL, or XRP user Fran, has evolved into a B2B platform, acquired an automated compliance company, won an EU grant to develop payment services, and since renamed Diameter Pay. Seems like a lot of growth this year for those two companies. So interesting news there coming from this particular Ripple partner. And again, I'd venture to guess that a lot of these companies are connected to, bigger global, we'll say global multinational corporations. The companies that you'd see connected with the World Economic Forum. Another one here from XRPville. Oh, Sheila, thank you for the clarity about the Ripple case ruling. So Sheila Warren here, guys, she also commented on the Ripple case ruling, and maybe I should bring this up first. A little bit of background if you guys don't know who Sheila Warren is. She was one of the head speakers at Ripple's Swell blockchain event, but she's also a member of the World Economic Forum Central Bank Digital Currency Policy Maker Toolkit. And from that toolkit, you can see XRP was named as an example there. She even did tweet here on the day of the Ripple ruling, a huge win for the entire industry. So you can see the connections there. I do want to play you guys this clip because I think this is very important. Courtesy of XRPville here. Listen to this.
We got the ruling in the Ripple case, which the Crypto Council actually filed an amicus brief in support of Ripple. What was your reaction to that ruling? That's what it means for the industry. I mean, it's not really a clear decision as to XRP's status as a security, but I mean, it did sort of take the wind out of the SEC sails.
I thought it was actually a quite nuanced and thoughtful order and reflected that Judge Torres had done quite a bit of education herself and understanding the differences here. Quite sophisticated in my view. I think there's, again, a long process. We have to see how this all plays out, what appeals may be filed once the whole thing is finished, what Ripple decides to do, what the SEC decides to do. Does this even make it through? What happens after the election? Do we have the same folks, at the agencies? There's a lot of things that are going to change. So I think it's a bit premature to be doing anything predictive around this. But I think your point is the large one, which is the takeaway here is that the SEC cannot unilaterally decide what is or isn't a security. It's not a question for them to decide, especially in a place like digital assets, where there are a lot of aspects of these assets that simply do not fit into traditional model. They just don't. That is factual. What you want to do with that, you may decide, okay, great, I don't care, which seems to be Gary Gensler's stance, or you may say that's actually really important and critical, which is a lot of people's stances, including Ripple's in this case. So we filed an amicus because we really felt like that distinction was an important one, right? And try to understand who gets to decide and how do we have to make rules here. We can't just have an agency that is suddenly saying any innovation is going to be ruled by, rules and laws that date to a completely different time. So I think that's the takeaway.
So that is the takeaway there from Sheila Warren. And again, the connection to the World Economic Forum, obviously a connection to Ripple. We know Ripple's a partner of the World Economic Forum too. So all things pointing to regulatory clarity. She says, Congress, they're a bit of a cluster F, but it's okay. We're going to get it sorted, I hope, at some point, hopefully. Another clip too here, courtesy of Wheezy and Nerd Nation Unboxed. Former SEC Commissioner and CEO of Paydomatic Global Partners, Paul Atkins, opines on the Ripple case. And even if there is an appeal, guys, well, listen to what he has to say.
Congratulations, Judge Torres. I think, I don't know her, but, she really put her finger on, a really important aspect of this. Are we looking at, the transactions, or are we looking at the asset? And I think if you look at the Howey case, and then you look at, what is an investment contract, which is, the Supreme Court took a stab at it back in whenever it was 1946 to figure out, okay, what does that actually mean? So they came up with a test that, has the term in their expectation. And so expectation of profit. And so, she parsed it out and applied it to the facts at hand. And we'll see whether or not that stands scrutiny, because this will be inevitably appealed, I'm sure. And, I'm sure both sides think that they'll ultimately prevail. I do think that these sorts of questions, whether it be in Ripple or something else, will go up to the Supreme Court. And since this is all judge-made rules and by the Supreme Court itself, I think they're the appropriate ones, in the first instance here, since it's coming up to them, to try to clean up this mess. And then obviously Congress is there, but they're kind of dysfunctional. And so I don't really see anything immediately on the horizon. Maybe this will spur them as other judges try to, deal with applying, these sorts of this sort of tests to other cases. So it'll be very interesting to see how that goes. But I do think that I think the Ripple folks here have a very strong case to to push forward.
So despite everything, the Ripple folks have a strong case to push forward, and Congress is essentially kind of a joke right now. I mean, we've got to figure out the rules of the road, and, in the meantime, like I said before, the FUD is coming out. They want to hold us back. They don't want to help us get rich, but alas, we're smarter than that. We know what we need to do. On top of it all, guys, this one courtesy of Susan Anthony here on Twitter, another recent like by Volante. So taking a look at Volante's likes here, the latest in their likes, CD Mustang's tweet here, the FEDNow service is currently just a domestic service in the United States. No XRP needed for the FEDNow as it currently exists. And we've talked about this in the past. The other thing I've talked about was, this idea that maybe, even though FEDNow is not using XRP today, maybe in the future, they will use XRP. And then CD Mustangs posted this. However, when a company sees how nice the domestic rails settle and would like to have it for their cross-border service, then we can establish an ODL line like XRP. And Volante Technologies did in fact like that tweet. We know Volante is the backbone for FEDNow. We know Volante is also Ripple enabled. The fact that they like that, I think also to speak to the fact that, you know what, guys, this is just the beginning. We are going to see a lot of movement for the space. XRP, I think in particular, even just looking at this right now on the 15-minute, let's just take a look at the 15. Hopefully we see another bullish pennant pattern forming in here before we see another move to the upside. We have already crossed that trend line, guys. So what do you think? Another bullish move very, very soon? Put it down in the comments, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.